हरि 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 स्मरण करो।
साई जयंती प्रशांति निकेतन,
साई जयंती प्रशांति निकेतन,
साई जयंती प्रशांति निकेतन, हृदय सारथी सत्य सनातन, हृदय सारथी सत्य
நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா சத்தியம் என்றும் தவறாதே சத்தியம் என்றும் தவறாதே செயலால் தர்மத்தை காத்திடு செயலால் தர்மத்தை காத்திடு சாந்தி என்றும் பெருகிடவே சாந்தி என்றும் பெருகிடவே உள்ளத்தில் பிரேமையில் வளர்த்து விடு உள்ளத்தில் பிரேமையில் வளர்த்து விடு நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா உள்ளத்தில் பாசத்தை வளர்த்து விடு உள்ளத்தில் பாசத்தை வளர்த்து விடு நன்மைகள் என்னும் செய்து விடு நன்மைகள் என்னும் செய்து விடு தந்தை தாய் குருவை மதித்து விடு தந்தை தாய் குருவை மதித்து விடு மதங்களை எல்லாம் போற்றி விடு மதங்களை எல்லாம் போற்றி விடு நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா நம் தேவனுக்கு என்ன வேண்டுமையா சத்தியம் என்றும் தவறாதே சத்தியம் என்றும் தவறாதே செயலால் தர்மத்தை காத்திடு செயலால் தர்மத்தை காத்திடு முருகா முருகா வடிவேல குமரா जय पांडुरंग प्रभो विठ्ठला शांति 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 भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Please get prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Buddhist prayer. Buddham sharanam gacchami, dhammam sharanam gacchami, sangham sharanam gacchami, buddham sharanam gacchami, dhammam sharanam gacchami, sangham sharanam gacchami, buddham sharanam gacchami, dhammam sharanam gacchami, sangham sharanam gacchami. One in prayer. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Jai Priya. Om Namo Hariyathanam, Om Namo Siddhanam, Om Namo Ayuriyanam, Om Namo Mudachayanam, Om Namo Loke Sabasabhunam. Thick prayer. Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru, Satnam Vaheguru. The readings of prayer of peace. Om Dyo Shanti, Antariksham Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Akas Shanti, Aushadaya Shanti, Vanaspataya Shanti, Vishve Deva
We pronounce at the lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Saram, uncles and aunties, brothers and sisters. I'd firstly like to welcome all those new here today, and all the way from Miami we have Sister Auntie Veena here today with us. So welcome to you. I made it by chance, thank you. And dear brothers and sisters, I just want to, it's end of the month again, and so 20 minutes of, I won't call it study circle because we can't make that group and we talk about it, so we'll call it satsang. 20 minutes. Again, we like to just revise again of what Swami's birthday is this year, the 100th birthday. The theme is purity in action. And what was the tagline? Anyone?
Be a little better.
Be a little better. Every day. Transformation. Right? So with that, remember we talked about CIA last month. Anyone? What is CIA? Constant integrated awareness. And what is this constant integrated awareness? Just draw up. Simple, don't have to have the perfect. What is constant integrated awareness? Come, Prati. Come, anyone? The watch way, that watch was. Constant integrated awareness.
Be aware of everything that you do.
To be constantly aware, that's it, of everything. So now how to do that? What has Swami given us? A simple toolkit, which is the watch. Watch your words.
Action, thoughts, character.
Okay, so that was last month, yeah? This is our theme, this is our theme for the entire Swami's 100th birthday. So now, let's go into it. So today we're going to go a bit more deeper to understand a little bit what is the tools that we can use to practice this watch. Okay, so CIA, living every moment with awareness in God, and awareness is life, Swami said. Lack of awareness is death, Swami. Next. Okay, have I ever paused during the day and asked, would Swami be happy with what I'm doing now? Okay, think about it. Now, I'd like today to share a little bit more of the CIA, this watch and CIA, but using examples. Okay, and in every example, I want you all to participate and share your thoughts. Okay? Now, firstly, Mirabai. We all know Mirabai, right? She was a queen living in the Rajput palace, and she was totally, What? No. She was what? What happened to her? What did she go through? Total. Come on, guys. Mirabai. Huh? Yeah, she constantly thought of Krishna, but what did she go through? Humiliation. She went through insults and she went through total trauma with her family, her in-laws. But she totally kept on thinking of Krishna. Nothing else mattered. All the suffering was nothing because she was with Krishna all the time. Okay? So now, the insight, wait. The CIA insight from there is her, read this, come on, 1, 2, 3. So this is the CIA part. Okay? CIA, yeah? Constantly she was tortured, constantly she was insulted, everything, but she was not part-time, full-time she was with Krishna. That is constant integrated awareness. Next. Okay, now, question for all of you. How can we bring that same God focus into our heart, into our own distractions and duties? What distracts us? Phone. Without a doubt. What else? Huh? Roadblocks. Huh? Definitely. Is that what? Huh? Desires. Come on, say it, just say it. You do nothing wrong. No, right. TikTok. Okay. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all one category. Okay, one. Next. Huh? Laptops, Aditi, fantastic. Huh? What else? Okay, apart from all these external gadgets, what else? Thoughts. iPad. Huh?
Deadline.
Deadlines, yes. Our duties. Huh? People. Aunties over there, anyone? What distracts you? Distracts you that, yeah, sorry. Husbands. Huh? Husbands and wives equally then. Well, distraction. You see, dear brothers and sisters, I think we all know what distracts us in a day. In that one day in the morning when you wake up, you're so fresh and say Sai Ram Swami, whatever it is, we set the day nicely. And over the course of the day, of course we're doing our duty, our work, college, school, everything. But there are times when the decision making clouds us. Am I not? Right? It clouds us because you know why? Because what did Mirabai do? Despite all that she went through, she was poisoned. Right? Snake, this, that, all kinds of things. But she only did for Krishna. Now, in work, just imagine in work, you just think, okay, all for Krishna, it's for you, and you drop everything else. No, she was doing her duty as a wife, but her mind was fixed. So then, okay, next. Now, Tyagaraja, for those of you who know Carnatic music, this man's music, this saint, I would say man, he was infused with love of Rama. Nothing else mattered. Every composition of Tyagaraja Swami was only in Rama, remembering Rama. And even Rama had to come to his doorstep. He was singing, lost in singing of Rama. Rama and Sita came to hear him and he was standing in his doorstep, but he didn't realize that he was immersed with Rama's. All his songs. He composed 4,500 songs on Rama. Every aspect of Rama's life, even the curls of Rama's hair, he described in his song. His eyelids, when Sita and Rama had a fight, an argument between husband and wife, that also he made into a song. So he lived perpetually with Rama. He gave up. The palace told him to sing. I'll give you a royal patronage to sing for the king. He said, I will never sing for a man except for my Rama. So that was it, right? Next. Now the question is, do we make choices from convenience or from God consciousness? See, he was given royal patronage. Come and serve in the king's palace, sing there. He was utter poverty. He was so poor. Not even had one meal that he could afford. he refused that job. He said, Rama will feed me. Out of convenience, the decisions that we make, or God consciousness? Come. Let's be practical. We do make out of convenience. I'll be honest. It's practical. Right? What do you all think? Yes? No? Radhika? Example? Convenience, like, because we make decisions just, it's easy, just let's go for it. Or do we really think, we're connecting and say, actually, examples, go on.
Yes, like going to my work. When I'm doing my work, I'm usually thinking whether I should either do the harder one first, then the easy one. And my insecurities always mean that I always just do the easier one first. So I guess if I really think about it, it's easier to finish off the harder one.
You see, simple, this is day-to-day practical things that we go through. The easy escape, easy, let's just finish it. Right? But she said, the best thing is to go back and finish out the hardest one, then everything else is easy. Right? Anyone else? Convenience? An example of where you have made a God-conscious decision.
What is a God-conscious decision?
What is a God-conscious decision where instead of making a choice just out of convenience, because it's easy for me, like I'll just decide this and go. I'll do the easy part, I'll take the easy road. But God-conscious, you come to a problem, you want to make a decision. Are you connecting with that consciousness within? Ask Him. Let the intellect work. Is it right? Is it wrong? What should I do? Am I in that space of awareness to make that decision, connecting back to ourselves? Or is it,
So I was in Indonesia looking for a Sai conference at some point, and there was this one man who was driving us to the camp, and he had an alarm on his phone that would go off every hour, at the hour. And at the hour, every single hour of the day, I think from the time he woke up until he slept, whenever this alarm went off, he made it a point to stop wherever he was and say thank you. Say thank you, Swami or the universe at that moment. So when I was driving with him, I had no idea. Anyway, we were on the road, and all of a sudden it was about a 2.5-hour journey, and twice in the journey he stopped. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, we were on a slope going uphill somewhere, in Bali somewhere, and he kept stopping the car, and then he would stop and just suddenly like go into a meditative thing for 1 minute, and then he'd start back driving. So I was so curious. The third time it happened, we had already reached the venue, and I noticed this was in line with his gong of the phone sound that was going on. So I was too curious, I asked him, so what are you doing, you don't mind me asking. And he said, God gives us everything, all day. Can we not take a moment to say thank you for everything we have? But how powerful is that? To make it a point to say thank you at least 12 times a day, and not just chincha in your mind like, oh, thank you, okay, and move on. But consciously feel it and say thank you. Yeah, I thought that was very powerful.
It was very powerful. Every 1 hour the alarm rings, and he said, I stop to just thank God, because God gives us everything. Constantly trying. It could work any way how it works for you. The methodology is yours. The toolkit is yours. Whatever to plug in. That's what CIA is, to plugging in to wherever. Because over the days we get unplugged, right? The source, we just need to get plugged back again, and it happens. You get plugged, unplugged, plugged. I mean, go back again, plug back to the source. He's always there. He's not going to run anywhere. Right? Next. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share on that? Ganesh, you want that? Okay. Now, so that's the toolkit. Now, the CIA is that we have established that. Now, Swami has given Swami's toolkit. I think we all know this since we were young. Watch, 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 watch. Watch words, action, thoughts. Hold on. Right? So that's the way to God. Now let's take some life of our sayings and see each alphabet, each 5 of that. Let's see what it connects to and who practiced it, who's the epitome of it. Okay? Next. Saint Kabir. Who knows who Kabir? Who's Kabir?
Kabir is similar to Tyagaraja in that sense,
Okay.
but in North India.
That's it. Kabir. Anyone else? He's a poet. Yeah, he's a poet. We all know he's a poet. What was his songs about? No. He was a Hindu, but he was all the way propagating the Granth Sahib in Sikhism. He was all the way taking Islam teaching, Sufism. And he was also doing on wherever there was discrepancy in religion, he would go there, he would stop it, and through his poem and his songs, he would correct it. So his songs were like sword cutting, and cutting the ignorance of what Hindus and Muslims were going on that time. Okay, there were a lot of this fight, stuck in rituals. He'll go there and he said, stop this, stop this. So he had a lot of enemies over the years. Right? His teaching was, the truth is one, and the truth will only serve the righteousness, the righteous. That's it. So his songs were all there. So he had a lot of enemies. But why? Okay, his words were fearless. So he went on. Fear not fear. Pop, he did. So Swami says the first thing is words. Next. Now the question we want to ask ourselves, when I speak, do I pause and think, is it necessary? Is it time? How many of us, if in the emotion, in the spur of the moment, we do tell things. But only if we can just pull ourselves, just be aware. I mean, if you lost, we said it, fine. You can't take it back anymore. But that very moment, if you are attached to that source, you are plugged into that source, pull it back. Okay, no mind. Swami, I'm sorry. You know, what is your mechanism? You sort it out. You think about it. There's no one way to this. There's no playbook. The playbook is Swami is going to give you the toolkit. An example here, fantastic. Kabir, there's so many other examples. How many of us relate to this? It's easy and we read it. It's tough and challenging. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah? Next example. W, finished now. A, actions, of course. Hanuman, no need to say. Right? Every action, whether mighty or small, was done with Rama in his hand. That's what made him strong. He didn't know that he could grow so big and cross Lanka until Jambavan told him, hey, this is your power, realize yourself. And then he knew he grew big, and that's how he crossed Lanka. The Shakti he got. So Swami gives example for A, when it comes to action, constantly doing things in remembrance of Rama. His actions became so much of love and devotion because it was totally dedicated to him. So that was another way CIA happened all the way. Okay, next. Questions. Do I act out of ego or out of love and service in any circumstances that you come into? Sri Hanuman's strength was because he was rooted. He only wanted to make Rama happy. Period. Right? Here we have many people to make happy in our day-to-day lives. Correct? And it's fine. Parents, spouse, office, bosses, we have to, right? But then what is the question asking? What is Swami asking? How much of the actions we do become aware and pull ourselves back? Share anything, what you all understand from this? Any experiences? Do I act out of ego or out of love in circumstances?
Forwarding messages.
Forwarding, what sense?
Sensitive messages. Feel like sending it out and you feel happy. So, but it can cause a big effect.
Of course.
Just like
Unverified
unverified
messages
sometimes,
going on, yeah.
that ignorance?
To make just ignorance,
That is ignorance.
to make us feel good about it.
Yeah, the thing is, by sending it over, we feel because of the ego. Something sensational, you sending it out. And
You feel good sending it, right?
Going out of proportion.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, ego, correct. The ego part. Anything else? Kana? Tava? Anyone? Uncles? Any example, anything you want to share of this? Right? Okay, there's nothing, then we'll go on to
Not really an example, but kind of something that I noticed personally. I find it easier to not do something wrong. Not do something wrong because I'm aware of, what would Swami think, or am I thinking with love and service? Am I jumping to conclusions because of my short fuse or my anger? I find it easier not to do certain things that are bad, but I'm not motivated enough to do the things that are right. The exclusion is easier for me to do, rather than including something new that I might not be familiar with.
Okay. Understand.
How do we integrate or motivate ourselves to do that good, rather than just avoid doing bad?
To me, it's if you ask me, I would say it's constant practice. If the awareness is, for me again, the moment you're having the awareness that you're actually having that feeling and that thought, and you're able to think, that awareness itself is the first step. And that's what the constant integrated awareness is, right?
I also think it goes back to the theme.
Yeah,
Just be a little better. Just little.
doesn't matter how much you're transformed, but that very fact, you know what, seclusion is easier. You're aware of it. Some people don't, totally ignore, full ignorant. Correct? So that itself is the awareness to grow that I'll say a consciousness of awareness. So you make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then totally you go into that space, and I'm always in that space of awareness that I don't need and plug in source, I'm already plugged on. Eventually that's the higher goal. Okay, next. So A, we're done. Numan? Yes, sure, please.
I think my voice is loud
Okay.
enough.
Come down loud.
Sometimes I feel I also act out of ego, like in my day-to-day work, like a lot of patients come and see me,
Okay.
and then usually another person looks after them, and then I'm like, oh my God, why didn't you get this diagnosis? Like, it's so simple. And then when I see them, sometimes I'm like, I think I get a bit egoistic, like I know what's going on. But then I have to pull myself back, and I feel proud that I know, but then I shouldn't feel proud also. Sometimes I'm confused.
Yeah.
Do I feel good that I know more than others and they don't know? And then so I'll just pull myself back and say, no, it's, bring the ego down. But it feels good to know, right?
I think the knowledge, this is, you see, there's a very fine line of self-confidence. You're
Because it
confident.
happens a lot. It
Yeah.
happens a lot in my field of work.
Yeah, because to us it works also.
Yeah, it's work, but then, but I try not to bring down another person. Although the mistake is bad, but you just don't know what to do.
Yeah. Anyone shares the same experience? Yes, Antika.
I would say, she's talking about professionally, I would say at home.
Oh, yeah.
The sense of ego when you have a certain authority in a certain decision,
Okay.
even among your family members, and you just push it through because
Yeah.
your opinion, you believe it's the right one.
Fantastic, yeah.
And then later you realize that, I think
I should
there's
have.
so much of ego in it. Yeah.
No, but you see, Nancy, did you hear yourself, Ada? You're aware of it. See, the moment you decide, you saw that you were, and you pull back, right?
No, it's
There's,
like you react first, then
yeah, okay, so there's two things. That's good, you reacted already. See, this is exactly what it's all about. That thing is, again, there's no right and wrong to this. That awareness, we're talking about it now. You let go, cannot get back anymore. But that ego, you're able to recognize, I feel like egoistic. Right? Thank you so much. It's not easy to share. Nancy, Gita, thank you so much. It happens. It happens. So when you ask, is it confusing? Is it confusing? How many of us feel it's confusing?
It's not about confusing
Ah.
whether you get fused.
One day the point, whether you get fused or No.
Birds lah, not
It happens every day. And the point is, okay, I'll take Kita's example, Auntie's example. You are a doctor. You know the diagnosis. Sometimes, of course, your fellow doctor may give a slightly different, I don't know. And you may feel that. But you see, the confidence, yes, I know my stuff, I know my knowledge well. It's fine. But in that moment, if you can just pull back, now put yourself out and see, how is this mind, how is this thought coming out now? Is it out of ego or I genuinely care about the situation? I'm just giving, I'm just going back to the how you can pull yourself and notice and rewire the thought process so that it becomes fused with awareness and not from the mind. It's not easy day to day, but this is where we are actually, right? This whole CIA is about plugging back. So thank you again. It's very practical and for everyone. Anyone else? Okay. So Hanuman for A, T for Halada. Even though through suffering, his thoughts were firmly anchored in Narayana. Right? Again, same thing like Mirabai, put to death, stamped by elephant, tied up with a chain, thrown over a cliff, poisoned by own father. Because what he didn't want to do? He didn't want to chant own father's name. What he wanted? Narayana also. He was filled with Narayana. Nothing moved him. Right? So Swami said, when he comes to the epitome of thoughts, he was totally, until he brought Narayana out from the wall in a most angry, ferocious form. Dharma had to take place. Right? Now the question for this. What fills my thoughts daily? Worries, complaints, or God's name?
Yes. I just wanted to say, a lot of thoughts fill our mind through the day, but it's nice if we can pick something like, for example, my grandmother, she had a habit of not putting anything in her mouth without saying thank you to God or offering the food to God first. So even if it meant somebody gave her a candy or she needed to drink a glass of water, first thought was to offer it. So I feel that choice that she made to make it food was a useful choice for her because it meant through the day she consciously made anything related to that thought or that action, food, something that she would offer. So it's a nice thing to think about in our lives. What is something that maybe we can, put a tab on for which we can think of God on a daily basis.
Nice, thank you. Anyone else with that? Anyone has any other mechanism that you can share? Yes, Saji.
I think, in my opinion, whatever we saw here right now, every single saints or individual, they have a single pointed focus. They don't have distraction of focusing on many. But for you to be aware, you got to do things on a daily basis. Like you take bath daily to keep yourself clean. Habits. Yeah. If you never take bath for maybe 3 days, you stink. Yeah. So what do we do daily to keep your mind clean? So one of the things which I practice is journaling. When you start your day, you put your thoughts around. What kind of person you want to be? What is your focus? So when you put there, you are directing your mind towards that path. So that is kind of setting the path for everything. So what do you do daily? That's what matters.
Fantastic, thank you. Very powerful. Okay. Very good.
I think not only to solve this, don't feel your thoughts, but feel your thoughts.
Don't feel your thoughts by feeding your thoughts. Feeding your thoughts.
F-E-E-N. You must feel.
Punch.
Guruji, worry only God, complain to God.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can have constant integrated awareness. Turn your anger to God. If you're angry with somebody, automatically just try to switch. Scold God, never mind. After all, Swami said, hey, I'm your best friend. So scold him, complain to him, worry with him. That is one way that you can move away from the troubles of the world and just be constantly in tune with him.
Use all these. While we say that, worry is something, oh no, you shouldn't worry, you shouldn't complain. I will say worry or worry about God. Complain to God. You want to cry to God. Laugh with God. Nice. Thank you, bro.
So if there's something I learned from my husband, when there's a problem, there'll be a lot of thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
But for him, I think he copes with it, he doesn't have any thoughts.
To us, yeah.
So
That's very fine, huh?
he always says, empty your mind, don't have thoughts. So I'll be thinking. It's like, he just clears his mind and just doesn't have any thoughts. And then when the problem comes, he solves it. Or doesn't solve it or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't infuse the thoughts.
Okay.
His mind is like clear. Like,
Analysis to paralysis.
so it's one thing I learned. So not easy to do that. So,
Satya, what do you like to share? How do you do it?
You got no thought.
You got no thought, so you can't say it. I'm just kidding. I know that. No, share. I mean, how do you do it? How do you practice it for yourself so that you're not cluttered?
Something taught me that problems can be solved when you take a break and you find solutions the next day. So don't bother thinking too much. You'll always have for next day. That's all. So you keep thinking about the problem, you're not going to break away. That's how I.
So cannot tell him any problem at night. You always say, clear your thought. Don't sleep with the problem. Don't sleep with the problem. Don't sleep with everything in your mind.
Yeah.
Sleep and then next morning we'll solve it.
Really practical.
But not
easy. Not easy, but that sleeping time, what thoughts we go to sleep with, actually is it's you wake up with that. Thank you, Satya. Thank you, Gita. Anyone else? Any other, because these are tools again, So, again, dear brothers and sisters, it's what tools that you can cope with, you do it. That's it. There's one person whom I know will get up in the morning, while he's showering, he chants Vedam. So as the water is falling, he feels he's doing Abhishekam to Swami for him inside his body. Bhajans, wherever. Your work, of course, you fully concentrate on work and your college, nobody's asking you to stop there and sing bhajans. So no. My mechanism is, I have Swami's picture, I put it on my desk, because I'm highly strung, I look at him, okay, that's my deep breath. Okay. That's my coping mechanism. So everyone will have one. Right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next. C. Character. Bharata. He refused the throne and ruled Rama's sandals on it. The model of integrity. And this is all idealists. They're all the idols. They're all up there. We are showing these examples so that we're just trying to bring that essence out of it. What is it that becomes thought, word and deed, right? So the question, why Swami said Bharata is character? Now the question is, do I stand by my values even if it's difficult? Yeah. Guys, think about it. Time is running out. Yeah, come. You want that? Just to think about it. Do I stand by my values? See, Bharata's values is he believed that Rama is the king. He is the king, and that was his thing. Okay? He didn't want to say, he easily got to take, my brother has given me okay, now is my time to shine. No. What happened? Eventually after 14 years, he became Rama and he didn't know who was Rama and who was Bharata. Because he emulated Rama himself. So the question, this is the question. So when we say about character, it's a very, 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 very tough. Do I stand by my values at work, at college, at school, peer pressure, anything? But you can only answer this question if you are plugging in a little bit to that space of awareness. Like going there, okay, can I do this, should I do that? Intellect, Ganesha, Buddhi, right and wrong. But it only happen in a space, like Satya said, quietly, the mind cannot work when it's cluttered. Only when it's quiet. Noise, when it's noisy, emotions, you throw out words, get angry, worry, everything. Okay? I'm just going to quickly skip because time is 9:15. And finally, the H is Radha. Of course, Radha is the heart belonged to Krishna, nothing else. When you're infused with love, you see, thoughts is there, words is there, actions is there. But when the heart, everything comes from here, right? Everything else fades away. Because you know why? Your heart is soaked, totally belongs to Krishna. That's Radha's one. So now the question to think about when you go back. What fills my heart when no one is watching? Love or judgment? Very real stuff, huh? And nobody is watching. You think nobody is watching? Okay lah, let's judge. It's okay. It's a guilty kind of a pleasure to do that. Let's take that home, right? What fills my heart? Is it connecting to the source or? Okay, so that's heart. Finally, next one. So I want to do this, but I think we have done enough for today. Right? I just wanted you to share, but essence, brothers and sisters, constant integrated awareness. Just think of it as a plug point. Right? You are plugging into the source. When you're plugged into the source, you are totally in that awareness space. Over the day, the period of activities, we get plugged out because we move away very far. We get stuck with our emotions and we get plugged out. Never mind, the moment you allow, find whatever it is, you want to journal, you want to use an alarm clock, you want to sleep and think about it tomorrow, whatever, that is awareness. Your coping toolkit is yours, it's only for you. Take the plug it back, plug back to the source. The source is always there. Swami never judges, he's there, he's listening, you just have to connect to it. He's there. He's not going to go and run anywhere. He's waiting for you, in fact. Right? So, CIA, watch. Just keep this doing. Let's do this practice, to Swami's birthday. And our tagline again for Swami's 100th birthday, be, again all together, be always. Yeah, and purity in action. This is Swami's birthday, Sai 100. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Next month I'll make sure it ends by 9. Okay, to this. Because a good lot of sharing happened, so it went a bit late. Okay, center announcement, just 3. Center cleaning on 2nd of June from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Center cleaning, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the 2nd of June. Now, dear brothers and sisters, SS3, after a long time, is having their family day. Right? With the title, Sneham and Sandosham, which means love and happiness. The essence of what this organization is all about. It's about love and fellowship. And we like to go back to the days where SS3 grew with only nothing but fellowship and love. And we're trying to emulate that back again with this family day. So please do register and please come and join us. And let's grow this SS3 family with the strength of love and our fellowship back again. So if you need any information on that, please see our chairman, please see me, or either me or Next is our National Sai Conference in Port Dickson.
IDCC Shalam.
Okay, ICT Shalam. Okay, around the corner. IDCC. Okay. 5th to the 7th of September. 150 ringgit per person for 3 days. It's a hell of a good of a deal. Children below 18 free of charge. Okay, so a lot of guest speakers coming from overseas who have been a lot of experience with Swami. They're coming to share their experiences and with Swami in our daily lives. And then finally, dinner is served. Today's Balavikas normally don't serve dinner, but there is dinner today, something small. So after Arati, please come and have prasad. With that, can I finish what? Sairam, see you next one.
Brahma Amen.